Welcome to the Idaho Business Podcast, the only Idaho podcast focused on providing profits for Idaho people. If you love our state and love small business, you are in the right place. We interview local legends, learn business, and have way too much fun doing it. You're listening to the Idaho Business Podcast with your friend, host, and all-around great guy and owner of New Clean Commercial Cleaning, Spencer Ward.
All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of the Idaho Business Podcast. Man, I am excited to be in front of all you today. I hope you guys had a just fantastic weekend. You spent some time with your loved ones, your friends, your family, whatever it is, and you just got to be able to relax, get in that Zen part of your moment, and recharge your batteries for the upcoming week, and start your week with just the vigor you need to know that you're going to be successful. And define success for yourself. You know, everyone else out there is, defining success is X, Y, and Z. I've got to have the nice car and the house on the hill. Well, success means different things to different people. So define what success is to you. So there's my little rant before we begin, because I think that's important. To sort of define what success really means to you, and what that really is. As always, we're sponsored by Health West. These guys are a phenomenal partner. They're a phenomenal partner within your guys's within our community of Idaho. Go see them for any of your health concerns or questions, and they will be there to guide and assist you in your health concerns or needs. Man, I'll tell you what I did over the weekend. I was Mr. Mom. My wife went off. She's a fantastic painter, and she had an opportunity to go and sit with a phenomenal painter and work beside him and kind of act as his protege. And I got to be Mr. Mom and enjoy spending time with my kids a little bit. And Sunday came around and we went to church, had some time, and then they went, played around, and then they, had some downtime before I had a little dinner with my parents. And I think they went downstairs and watched a movie a little bit. And I just found myself, you know what? I'm gonna turn on a show. And I've watched it before, but it's seriously one of my favorites. It's called American Underdog, Kurt Warner story. I probably actually even talked about it on the show already, but I'm going to talk about it again because I'm going to tell you, I get a little emotional when I watch that show because I love the story. Kurt Warner, football player, went from working at a Hy-Vee grocery store, bagging groceries 5 years earlier to winning a Super Bowl championship 5 years later. And this is just a remarkable story of someone who's just not willing to give up on his dream. And I was just thinking about this as business leaders, as business owners. Yeah, I mean, there's so many people out there that are willing, and not just willing, but they're readily telling you, hey, you're not going to make it. You're no good. You're not smart enough. You're not good enough, or whatever it may be, to belittle you. And it might even be your own family member that's saying this because they've never accomplished or tried to accomplish something that you're trying to accomplish currently. And maybe it's not even them trying to be belittling to you. It's just that they don't understand what you're trying to accomplish. And the best way to get your dreams belittled is by telling them to people that don't understand them. So in the show with American Underdog, he had a coach when he first got invited to play with the St. Louis Rams from this arena football league. So very low league player got invited to play in the NFL league. And the offensive coordinator was just this antagonist saying, dude, you will not be here long. You do not have what it takes to be here. And Kurt Warner just, he'd been through the ringer at this point. He's been through, the point of his life where he lived off food stamp. He's bagged groceries, for years to help his his family get through the tough times. He's seen it all at this point, and he didn't want to squander this opportunity. So he's matured. So he went on. He kept going forward, not letting this coach get to him. Even though this coach kept after him, and he made it his goal to try to get Kurt Warner to quit. And there's people out there that do not want you to succeed. They don't want Nancy to succeed. They don't want Jim to succeed. They don't want Philip to succeed. They don't want Deborah to succeed. If I've said one of your names, I'm talking to you, because there's people out there that enjoy people being misery. Excuse me, let me rephrase it. They're in misery, so they want other people to be miserable as well. So misery loves company. So unfortunately, there's people out there like that. So we're going to be around those people no matter where we're at in this life, and we're going to have to learn how to deal with them. So just like Kurt Warner says, I'm not going to quit, because that's not what leaders do. That's what we have to choose to do or not choose to do. So like I've said before, are we the author of our story, or are we not? Are we going to decide to believe these people when they say these kind of things or hurtful things, or decide not to? Is someone going to decide the outcome of our day, our month, or our life? Or are we going to? Is one snide comment that was meant to bring us down actually going to let us bring us down? What do we tell our kids? What's that song that the kids say in the playground? Sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me. We've said that since we were young, but words do hurt. But we need to choose to let them not hurt us in a way that, understanding that where those words are coming from, those people are coming from a source of pain, because they're not in a situation themselves of how can I say this maybe politely? Maybe they haven't seen success, or maybe they're just super unhappy with their lives that they have to bring you down with them. Or maybe it's coming from a point of innocence. Like I said, maybe it's a family member that's coming from a complete point of straight innocence that they just don't understand it. So they're being the devil's advocate. Just understand where that's coming from, and don't ostracize your family member, of course, because of it. But just understand where the information is coming from, and digest it accordingly, and then separate yourself from those type of people. Obviously, like I said, if it's your family and it's coming from a point of innocence and not fully understanding, then just stop talking to them about your dreams, and just show them with your actions. With those people around you, maybe they're your so-called friends. Maybe you need to distance yourself from those so-called friends. And this is not a sermon from me. This is not a sermon from Pastor Spencer Ward here, because I am far from that. I'm just telling you from personal experience, and just because I got inspired from American Underdog, this story. Because at the end of the story, like I said from the beginning, Kurt Warner started from a very decent college player that just barely got some playing time his senior year, to winning a Super Bowl his first year, Rookie of the Year his first year. Just because the starting quarterback, got had not a career ending injury, but the season ending injury. So he got to play that entire season. So he got Rookie of the Year, I believe, Super Bowl champion that year, and then he went on to appear in 2 other Super Bowls. So he decided that he was the author of his story. He decided that he was going to be successful. He decided that he's going to put his dreams on the line, and discover that he had the strength to achieve them. So we have to understand that we are the author of our story. We have the ability to make the things that we want come true to exist, set goals for ourselves, go forward with that, and with the faith that we know that we can do that. And we all know that we're going to be the underdog in some point of our lives, in certain parts of our story. It's really on how we're going to react in those underdog situations. There's times that we're like, man, I definitely don't feel in place. I definitely feel out of place right now, but am I going to act confident and go forward and know that I can be successful in this situation, or am I going to cower away and not take advantage of this situation, or not take advantage of this opportunity? So those are the opportunities, and those are the situations where we find ourselves in at times. So I hope this makes sense, and there's some understanding from this, because I just love this. I love the story. I love the movie that I was watching, because it just helps you understand that you can achieve greatness in this life. I haven't achieved what I've wanted to achieve at this point in my life, but I know I can. There's certain weeks that that you're like, oh geez, I didn't really accomplish everything I needed to accomplish this week. And there's going to be weeks like that. And don't judge yourself hard. No big deal. Go get up the next week and just say, oh, I'm going to do better next week. I'm going to do better the next day. Just realize that you're not the Terminator. You're not perfect. Be easy on yourselves and love yourself. So I know that the rhetoric out there is you've got to be this major machine, and you have to always be killing out there, cashing checks and snapping necks. And of course, let's be aggressive, and let's grow our businesses, and let's build great teams. But you got to have some grace. You've got to give yourself some grace and your team some grace. So you can't be a Terminator out there all the time, because that leads to misery. But you can be efficient in what you do, and you can control the story on which you're running your life. So I hope that stuff is sinking in, because it's making more sense to me as I get older, as I'm running this company and more companies that I'm starting, because having the value and the time in my life is worth more now that I'm seeing my kids grow up, and I'm enjoying that type of thing than it did 10 years ago. I still loved them back then, but I was in Terminator mode back then, and I saw nothing but red. So, and I know there's moments that you have to be that way, but there's those moments there's some misery attached to those things. So have some balance in your life, and know that you are the author of your story again, and control on how you view and how you digest what people tell you and what people say to you. So I hope that's something that you can take on to your week, but you guys can, go on and rock it this week. And remember, go out there and find someone to serve, find the gratitude within your week, and just be happy. And again, give yourself some grace. Go out there and dominate. Have a great week.
Congratulations on spending a couple of minutes getting a little bit smarter, having some fun, and supporting the Idaho business community. If you're feeling the love, make sure to subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you are.